It's dusty, grinding all the old coating off the frame and a little bit of surface rust. So I cleared off the center part of the frame where I'm actually going to cut this. And I'm going to cut it at a diagonal so I don't have any straight vertical lines where they can cause a fracture point. So I'll have to do a little bit of filling, but I'm going to take it out of right where this center body mount was. So right now I can leave the torsion bar cross member in because I don't have my coilovers or my drop spindles. So it'll hold the front suspension where it's supposed to be. But I'm going to mark this up and get ready to cut this. I'll end up using a plasma. So it'll just go here, angle down, 2-inch layback. So off the top of my head, I don't know what the angle is. But yep, it'll line up here, 8 inches and 8 inches even. So that'll be nice and safe number to take out and weld it, tack it back together, weld it, and put it underneath the Cherokee. I'm going to take these wheels off and get them blasted, just sandblasted to get rid of the factory clear coat because it's really worn down. And then I am going to personally just paint them white because I want to see what it looks like. I'm going to do like a bone white, off-white to match my Cherokee pinstriping on the side of the chassis. And then I also need to finish fish plating right here where I ended up cutting the chassis. And then I'm actually going to weld the plate in here where there's just, because this is where an old body mount was for the Tahoe. So instead of trying to cut around that, this was like the perfect spot to cut it because the frame went back to normal size without starting to cut up and dip back down. So I'll put a plate here, weld it in, and then I'm also gonna fix this and make a radius continue out so it's all smooth. Fish plate the outside, so it's gonna cover up most of these. I'll probably try to stop so I can keep this recovery point or this tie-in point for like a tow truck, that's what it's for. Then it'll get a fish plate on the inside. And then I'm going to go through and sand off the rest of the old cross members and body mounts that I have cut off. Like this front one from the old core support. These are just super jagged and sharp still. And then I'm also going to cut these front frame horns off about right here. Because I'm not running that factory front bumper. I'm going to build to my 3-piece bumper, the factory Cherokee one. Because I like the look of it better. And once I'm done welding, I'm going to pull this 5.3 4L60 out, set it off the side. It pulled the starter and torque converter bolts are ready for the 4L60. So once I pull this out of the chassis, I will pull the 4L60 off. We will sell that separately because we don't really run those anymore or like to run them. They just take too much money to have any kind of horsepower. And we have enough wheelbase in all of our rigs that we've been building that a 4L80 works. As you saw, I did some short snippets. I didn't have a lot while I was welding. I still have to finish welding the chassis before I cut it, but I shortened it 8 inches exactly. So it was at a diagonal cut. I showed you a little bit of the prep on that. Welded some angle iron to keep it stationary, same height. The front section stayed good. I put a jack underneath the transmission because there's going to be a lot of load there. And then when I actually cut the rear, it unsprung quite a bit because it didn't have all the front load weight. And then it wanted to teeter backwards, so I just put a jack underneath the receiver hitch and it fit pretty good. A little bit of extra sanding and get the cuts to line up perfectly. But this is with body on the chassis. So I need to get some smaller tires, so I'm gonna swap my wheels out because these are 16s. I need 17s for when I do the drop spindles. And then I'm gonna go from what these are, about 31, 32 inch tall tire, and I think I'm gonna go to like a 26 to a 27 inch tall tire because I want this thing low and I'm okay with running a little bit smaller tire. I will still have plenty enough traction, especially with the 4-wheel drive system. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I try to keep this one a little bit shorter and sweeter compared to the last one. The sanitation of the Tahoe chassis took quite a bit. There's a lot of filming on that. So this one will literally just be the frame shortening part of the video. Next step is building body mounts, and then I'm on to building a fuel tank to go in the back, run fuel lines, brand new brake lines in the chassis, and then I'm on to building the turbo kit on the motor so I can start getting the wiring in. And then I'm going to put a whole new wiring harness in the chassis or in the body, because it's just these old harnesses are not the best, and I don't like the fuse box. I want to go to a standard bus, away from the glass bus fuses to an actual blade fuse. They're a lot easier to change out, and I can carry a lot more with me. So thank you guys for watching. I will keep you posted on the next one. Have a good one. Good night.